Good evening, and welcome to another episode of Nightfall in Amsterdam. Tonight we join a mixed pack of guru, as they have many of them only recently arriving, gathered at the Sept of the Riddling Waters to honor a fallen young guru who, in fact, fell just after undergoing his first change, and to also discuss the state of the city as this group of newcomer guru were violently and viciously attacked, and indeed the one killed by a group of guru from another sept, none of which who are followers of the worm, thus the concern, as Gaia's children seem to have turned on one another. To that end, the alpha of the Riddling Waters, Yeshi, has called for a moot at the Sept. The howls went up and were repeated throughout the city. And in fact, some of the glasswalkers have even begun to rebroadcast some of these as coded messages over a web radio show. Yes, she has invited any guru not of the Sept of the Frozen Forest to meet him, as this Sept still remains somewhat hidden. He has brought them in. And so as the guru gather to begin this moot, he arrives with some other outside guru that are new to the group. Which would include Rat. Assuming she's been in the city, she would get brought in here.
Yes.
So, if you guys wish to introduce yourself, the moot itself takes place around a fairly large and fairly clear pool. Most of the sept is a wetlands, marshlands park with lower trees. This happens to be one of the few pools that has coastal access into the bay, but also has good tree cover, so it's not visible. Most of the guru of the sept are beginning to mill about, and there's even some kinfolk who are here, kind of just paying homage. You guys are welcome to introduce yourself, or if you're looking for any specific NPCs that you're going to meet up with.
Who's running the ceremony right now? Who's leading the ceremony as far as for the fallen Yoru?
Given the moot hasn't formally started yet,
Okay.
no one yet. The master of the howl is a female silent strider, and she seems to be preparing for the opening howl.
Okay.
Once Lucas gets down to the bond of the Carney, he relaxes into breed form.
Air's going to kind of look for some of the individuals that left the Sept of the Frozen Forest with her. Are they kind of scattered all over or together, or?
There's, quite a few of them have taken sept positions to kind of fill out Riddling Waters, because it includes Farah, didn't have a kind of a full ranks of sept positions yet, so those have kind of been filled in So some of the crew that left have taken those roles. Some of the other ones are kind of milling about. But there's probably at least a dozen or so that came over with you.
Well, you said if the few that haven't taken positions that obviously have to do moot stuff, if the others aren't, if the others are together, she'll just go hang out with them.
Okay.
Rat's gonna go over and stay by the bone gnar. Since she's just trying to get to know everyone, so she's just sort of keeping her position to learn what she needs to learn.
All right. That's fine. Actually, for my own sanity, your mentor will be a den parent, Bonar.
Yeah.
I will drop that information onto the Sept roster shortly here.
Not a problem.
Probably one that you guys would all notice is the the wormful as he's kind of prowling about. You guys would pick up. He has very strong pure breed, but it's from two different tribes. He has pure breed of both the Wendigo and the Silverfangs. Unless any of you have been to remote parts of Russia, you probably don't know what that means.
Sure is Siberian in here, guys. To kind of fill in some of the air. People are organizing themselves by, I'm guessing by pack first and then tribe?
Yeah, some of the more ranked guru that have been in the area more kind of have formed packs, but for the most part, everybody is still kind of newer to this group, so there's some clumping by tribe, not a whole lot. It seems to be more mingling of just a who do you know type.
Okay. Fuck it. Isolate is gonna look over to. I'm gonna always fuck up this pronunciation. Ear? Is that how it's pronounced?
Air.
Air. Oh, just the same way as air? Okay.
Yep.
Okay. Gonna look over. Yeah, Isolate's gonna go over to Air, the only person that she recognizes. Because if Lucas is in Krynos, she probably doesn't recognize him.
Are you in Lupus?
Yes. So Air probably doesn't recognize her.
Air kind of looks down at her.
Dragged out of the coffee
Just
shop.
like stares down at her.
She'll
What?
look up and I was the one taken from the coffee shop.
Oh. Okay. What the heck happened? I did look. But I didn't see you, and well, combat happened.
Something else took me into the Umbra and showed me problems. Weaver problems.
They showed you what? Sorry, you're breaking up a little.
Oh, sorry about that. And close that, and close that, and close that. There we go. Yeah, she's gonna say, I was dragged into the Umbra by a spider. And I was shown Weaver problems.
Of Weaver problems. Spirits. Other things.
Kind of?
Kind of.
I don't understand much of it.
Did they look like spiders?
No, they were wizards with black suits. Boy, out of character, they have black suits, right, John?
They were somewhat brown and gray, but yeah, very
Boots.
bland.
Just trying to remember they had shoes. She'll respond.
Okay. Air is kind of like looking at her and she's like, okay. They had shoes and they wore black.
Black. Oh, wait, no. Wait, hold on. Scratch that. She'll just say they had suits on.
Okay.
They were different colors,
Suits
I think.
and shoes. Okay, so we're dressed. They had clothes on.
Yes.
What do you mean they were like weavery, full of like technologies or
Yes.
Okay.
I can tell.
You can.
Yeah, if anyone wants to stumble onto this really awkward conversation, they can go right the fuck out ahead.
Actually, I'm about
No,
to.
she's trying to think she could be literally sitting there with a
You are breaking up like
plate
batshit
in the
mad,
template of
Holly.
expressions looking down.
Okay, I'm glad that wasn't just me.
No. You might have to check up top your bandwidth usage, Holly, and turn it down because you were breaking up like mad.
Oh, it's all the way up on high.
Yeah, just drop it down one notch.
Is this better?
It seems to be. I guess we'll find out the next time we can only hear 1 out of 3 words.
No, she's what I said was she's actually contemplating what she's been told, trying to figure it out, but she's still looking at isolated incident. Puts a hand to her chin.
She probably wanders over at this point.
She's made it sound like a spirit of some sort, or kind of.
She'll kind of hold up her paw, almost as if she's holding up a finger to say one moment. And she's just gonna fucking shift in the hammock because that's easier. She's figuring out this is easier.
Well, I know my character's gonna walk on over now, seeing all these people shifting back and forth. She's gonna want to know what's going on.
And she will nod, produce her smartphone, and say, "I made a video. I recorded."
Me?
Well, please play that video.
Okay, so as she plays the video,
She kind of raises an eyebrow at the.
yeah, the Lupus produces a smartphone and a video, and she knows how to use the
Lupus.
smartphone. Yeah. So basically, what it is, Holly, like this is some weird ass part of the Umbra. It's definite. I don't know how much info I can give off the top, John, but stop me if it's like too much. It's definitely not the penumbra at the very least. The weaver's webs are far stronger in this video, like in the surrounding areas.
Okay.
Like even the parts that should have like normal wild spirits are instead just replaced by webs or other like technological things. The video basically, there's this giant patrol of men in suits, brown,
Really
gray,
pattern web.
all kinds of suits. Yeah, pretty much that. And they enter into a building, and the video also starts. The camera starts moving into that building.
Can I recognize this building, or is it just John?
It's just a building. It's not one you're real familiar with. And it does look somewhat different, given it's
All kinds of webs
in an Umbral realm.
Yeah, and basically, soon she kind of locks onto this one dude with a gray suit. She follows him around for quite a little bit. He has this weird like gauntlet on his hand, and it looks like he's issuing commands to people. Eventually, he sits down. She kind of watches him for a bit longer, but then the camera moves again and goes up the stairs. When she goes up the stairs, she gets into a room, steals a whole bunch of tech.
Okay.
And then gets into another room where it looks like it looks like the person recording is hacking.
Okay.
And then they fucking leave. After some debate as to whether or not they should just monkey wrench this place now or wait.
So you filmed yourself in this place stealing.
Oh,
Is that what I just saw?
I filmed myself scouting and getting intel.
Except for this part and show like emotion for her to rewind it.
Which she does.
Sees the rest of that.
Oh, that's high. That's really advanced tech. I thought
Well,
someone.
I'm glad to know that you have it. It's handy, I'm sure.
She'll shrug. I don't actually know. I didn't actually know what it did. I just kind of took it.
Do you make that a habit?
No.
Just taking things?
No. My character's gonna butt in for a sec because she's wandering around. We don't take. We just use if it's available. Oh, sorry.
Most people just give me things.
They just give you things.
Yes.
Okay. We'll roll with that.
Yes. I say hi to them. They ask me to not hurt them, and then they give me things.
They're afraid.
There's a part I didn't get on that.
I'm pretty sure that's what that means.
They ask you not to hurt them?
Yes.
Why would they say this?
Because I'm in a room.
Okay.
She's talking.
Do you have a
about
T-shirt
humans.
with that on?
That would be a veil breach.
Well, at least we know that much.
Oh boy. Well, you got this video about Drake's disputes those in the suits there.
Oh, what was that? Broke up a little bit again.
Oh, she said, so you never actually found what dragged you over? Or do you think it was the guys in the suits?
They were operating a lot of strange things in a place they weren't supposed to be in.
Where's this place?
Yeah.
I think Lucy called it pattern web.
You know?
Yes, the pattern web. It's not the cyber realm. I asked.
On it, upon something odd myself entailing something similar. When I had to go break into a warehouse to get some femorae remains that didn't burn in a fire.
Wait, arson didn't work?
No, arson didn't fully work. So I got to the place, and it was all this its own, well, like you mentioned, it seemed like, I don't know if it was the Umbra or something else, but I didn't do it with a man. I won, but I did make sure that the bones were dealt with completely after this. But it kind of, did you feel like your spirit was being zapped?
No.
Okay, that's what this place felt like to me. But they were using all this high tech to try to put the femorae back together.
I will say, I am more used to cities. Not than you, but then I'm just used to cities. She just...
So another kind of like skinny looking wolf walks up around her, just kind of looks at the group and sits down, and then just kind of gets up, walks in a circle, and then down at the group.
Yeah. Oh, shit. I forgot to mention this. I'm sorry. For those of you in the scene, Isolated Incident has no... She doesn't have a scent. Or rather, it's a very, 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 subdued scent.
Okay.
Interesting.
Okay. Flare it.
Oh, I did not introduce myself. I am sorry. I am Isolated Incident. I am a Cleve Glasswalker Aron, Lupus born.
Pleasure to meet you. I am Air Sigurdsson, as Ren's her enemy's skulls.
Holly, you're really breaking
Born
up.
You're breaking up. I don't know if we need to.
I'm catching the gist though. Air Sigurdsson rends her enemy's skulls. I got that part.
You can try stepping it down to low, otherwise you might have to drop and come back in.
Is it better?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, rends her enemy's skulls. We'll go from there. born under a crescent moon on two legs of the Geta Fenris.
Let's do it again.
Oh, I've never met a Fenrir. Do we need to fight now? Do we not?
I think you're okay.
You will meet.
All right. So if you want to fight, I'm okay with that.
Should I want to fight you for some reason?
I don't know. I just heard Fenrir like fighting. I have to say, I kind of agree.
I don't necessarily agree with that. Just want to say, I don't necessarily.
I mean,
agree
we do. I prefer to save my energy for the worm.
Okay, good. Same. Or no, not same. What do they use on Twitter now? Big mood. Big mood. She nods. I know slang.
Air kind of glances at the lupus who's decided to curl up and chill.
He's just kind of watching. He saw a group.
She makes it a point to look right at him.
He's going to yawn.
How's it going?
He'll yawn and say, I'm well. Sleepy.
You want to join the rest of us? You enjoying staring at us from down there?
He'll look down at the ground, look back up. I'm fine here.
Slightly does an eye roll, and she's like, well, why don't you come hang out with us?
Okay. And he'll get up and walk over and then curl up again in front of you guys, but closer.
Isolated looks so excited. The group's getting bigger.
I'm Rat. Just want to say. That's all I need to say.
You don't look like a rat.
I've seen a rat in my time. You don't look like a rat.
Hey. That's just what I like to go by. They're very nice. They give me information. That's all I need to know. I can tell you all about the underground of the city, I think.
Wait, but rat what? What else?
just rat. Doesn't have to be more. You have Madonna. You have, it's just rat. That's
Who's Madonna?
You're not missing anything.
Do you listen to music? Just curious.
Sometimes. I really like KDA. I also like Tinashe. But I don't know who Madonna is.
You know what? Yeah, that fancy phone. I'm sure you got the internet thing there. You can just look it up. Save your time. Just look it up. Listen to some music. Get a vibe going there. That's all that matters.
Wait, I've seen this trick before. You don't actually know who Madonna is, do you? You're just saying that name. You don't know either.
I can say Jesus if that helps any.
I can tell you, and you can seem smart.
Well, thank you. I appreciate you calling me smart. I appreciate it. That's awesome.
Like, so you can seem smart. No, I'm not looking at Madonna for you. I'll look at Madonna later and then not tell you.
If that's what you want to do, I'm all for it.
I am like rats.
You don't. Well, I'm not a rat. Clearly.
You're
Then
not
why
a
is your name Rat?
maybe I have friends. You know, have you ever taken the time to sit and listen and talk to other things? Or maybe I'm clever. Who knows? Rats are very intelligent animals.
I've met many rats. They're not that small.
Don't forget that not only are they smart, I know you say they're not smart, but there's lots of them. You meet one, you meet many.
Is Rat your D name?
Wait,
first you're a Garu, correct? Oh no,
sure.
wait, she saw him shift. She saw her shift. She knows that for a fact. Scratch that. My bad. But she will continue on with the original question of, is Rat your D name?
Yeah.
Why do you sound unsure?
Because being unsure confuses you, and I enjoy confusing others. Kind of.
Oh, you're a Ragabash.
What? No, I am not.
Oh, I get to use sarcasm now. Then, gee, I would have known that if you introduced yourself. Sarcasm.
Oh,
I did it.
I wanted to, but when you start saying you want to have a fight, kind of not my game here, you know? I just not what I do.
You're a Garu. Yes, it is.
You know, maybe I like telling stories. Maybe I like singing. Maybe I like dancing. Not everyone has to bash it. Now, if it's the worm, it's a different story. I'll say that.
There's one to the living that clearly says we have to fight.
Yes, on that one, wherever it dwells.
Exactly.
Lucas leans over to Air and whispers, "Did you bring a flask with you?"
Wait, you said fight, right? You said fight. But you know, sometimes you can have a battle of wit. That's still a fight.
She says, "Unfortunately, I didn't."
Son of a bitch.
She actually laughs when he says "son of a bitch."
I don't think we have Krynos for battles of wit.
I mean, if I can beat you psychologically, I've already won. That's all I need to say.
As you guys are chatting, you kind of see the master of the hall get into position. The rest of the sept leaders kind of take a more formal stance. And as everybody's, kind of getting in set up, she kind of does one lap, make sure everybody's attending her, basically, before she steps up and lets out a howl. It's a fairly somber and mournful howl, especially given she's a silent strider. But there kind of is undertones of anger and a call to action as well. After a short time, some of the other first the rest of the alpha and then the rest of the sept officers join the howl, and then the general group joins in.
Air will join in.
Yeah.
I'll join in.
I'll join.
Is there anyone not joining? Let's just make it easy. All right. So everybody joins in the howl. Obviously, everybody's kind of got their own tone to it a little bit, but and some of the different tribes definitely have a different tone to it. The Get are, of course, rather aggressive in theirs, especially those Get that were driven out of their home sept.
You've got an angry bitch over here.
After the holy kind of turns over to the excuse me. Where they begin to gather, and for those of you who are familiar with moot rites, this is the rite of the inner sky. As they begin to kind of contact the umbral spirits. And at this point, the rites master actually defers to recalls the circle, who was the Fianna rites master of the previous sept before coming here. Defers to her to lead this portion, as she leads the rite of totem binding.
Yeah.
And she does have success in the rite as she calls upon the sea dragon to join with the sept and reaffirms their ties. You do notice the pool, which was clear, does begin to swirl. Normally in a moot at this point it would pass to the cracking of the bone. However, at this point, Petrus steps up and he says, "Tonight we will pause at this point to honor the fallen and commend their spirit prior to the cracking of the bone. They bring out Jordan's body and they set it. A number of Guru bring out some logs and kind of stack a small pier next to the pool. And Petra says, at this point, I turn it over to those who knew Jordan who the spirits have named blazes with glory, and to those who fought with him. If you have any words or deeds you wish to share before we commend him to Gaia.
Out of character, would this be the appropriate time for Lucas to basically sing the story?
Yes, if you want to actually perform the tale of his fall and of the battle, you could do that here. Obviously, the point would be the emphasis on his role.
Right.
There is time later to acknowledge the actions of the other warriors.
Yeah, then Lucas would like to do that.
All right. Let's see. Let me get a reference sheet up here. That would be probably a charisma and performance.
And charisma. Okay, so back into Hamid then. Standard diff.
Yes.
Three.
All right. With 3 successes, it's a fairly stirring rendition. It's certainly not an epic or a greatest hit, but you do give him good honor and share the tale sufficiently that everyone is impressed and gets, if not all the details, at least a good portion of them. Petrus nods to you and thanks. And the the tale singer nods to you as well and thanks you for the stirring rendition of his glorious fall.
Nods back to both and then kind of goes back to his place.
Petrus will kind of look to see if anyone else who fought there had any words to speak.
If no one else has anything, I think Isolated might have a couple of things to say. See how fucking well this goes.
No, go for it.
Yep. So Isolated will kind of step forward. And she'll say he was studying law. I don't know all of what that entails. However, that means that he is someone that valued honor and the rules that guide us. It is a noble trait. And she'll just step back because she didn't have anything else. Yeah.
Petra's kind of nods to you as well. And as he's looking around, somebody roll me a perception. Go with alertness, scent based.
Oh, sorry. What are we rolling?
Perception, alertness, scent based.
Okay.
Oh, are you kidding
Of course,
me?
I've got to open rolls again.
Okay. I had a success, so there was no botch, but nothing.
Just got 2.
I just gotta figure out how to use the roller again. So pardon me. Just take a moment.
It's pound, the number of dice, D10, and then F and the difficulty.
Okay. And what's the difficulty on this?
In this case, it will be standard.
That's way
Okay.
more useful than what I was going to say. I was going to say you need a healthy dosage of self-loathing.
I mean, maybe.
Okay.
So it's starting at 6.
Yes. Remember, I believe scent-based difficulties go down if you are in lupus. Don't forget to take that into account.
How many insight apply for this?
Yeah, I'll allow it.
I got 5 successes.
Can I get the link to rolls, please? My Facebook's up, and it's taking forever to load up.
I have 3 successes.
Put another side chat for you too.
Thank you.
I gotta change my name on here though.
Tiger, not all heroes have pure breed.
Wait, what?
I said not all heroes have pure breed. Thank you for
Yep.
posting that. I have it open once again on the other machine, so I would have had to message it to myself and then transfer it.
Okay, 2 successes.
All right. So everyone except Air had successes, correct?
Yeah.
You guys will pick up on a breeze coming into the sept. Probably one of the strongest scents of pure breed you have, Silverfang pure breed you guys have ever encountered. Is it not someone any of you are familiar with? And then not long after that, you kind of hear a real deep thump on the ground, like every, almost like a footstep would be. And then a fairly tall Krynos enters the clearing. He's carrying a long, like a quarterstaff. You can't make out much about him, but he's wearing polished armor in Krynos and a white hooded tabard over it. And he is definitely Silverfang.
Yeah.
And as he walks up, he'll kind of look around. The Sept officers don't seem to recognize him, but also are not. They seem kind of wary, but not hostile.
Okay.
And the Rates Master Petrus looks at him, and he throws back his hood. As he lets go of his quarterstaff, it actually remains standing. And he looks at everyone and he says, I am witness as the fallen, burned by the dragon's blood, eyes of flame, keeper of memories, speaker for the dead, the bringer of light. And we crescent moon of the house of the austere howl, of the lodge of the sun, and of the ivory priesthood of the tribe of kings. He looks, and as he looks, you can see that there's looks like a burn scar across his eyes and jaws, and you can see his eyes actually do flicker with green flame. He looks down at Jordan's body, and he says, then he looks at, kind of looks around, and he says, there are those of these silver fangs who have lost their way, those who have become pawns and puppets to be manipulated by other tribes, manipulated by the worm. This young pup, fresh off of his first change, acted with more honor and died with more glory than the silver fangs that reside in this city. The spirits of my tribe brought word, Falcon's brood does not support the actions of the silver fangs of this city. I ask permission to enact the rites of the Brotherhood, as well as other more ancient rites that I have recovered. To pay homage to this young man and to carry him into the next life. If anyone wants to roll a Guru lore at diff 10 to recognize his camp or house,
Okay.
camp or lodge, diff 9 to recognize the house. If you have Silverfang lore, I don't think any of you do, correct?
No.
Okay. So diff 9 for the house, diff 10 for the lodge and the camp.
So 2 rolls or 1?
2 if you want to know both of them.
Fail on the lodge and camp. 1 success on house.
Failed on whatever one the 9 was. He said 10 was the other one.
Yep.
Oh, hey, I'm on a roll. Nothing. A whole lot of nothings tonight.
I botched on the diff 10 one.
Air dits us out for the night, apparently.
Didn't get the diff 10.
nobody got the 10.
Working on the other one. I got nothing.
Okay. All right. So, Tiger, you botched. So you think that when he says the Lodge of the Sun and the Ivory Brotherhood, you think of like a Masonic lodge. Like you think he's like a Freemason or something. Or a like VFW lodge. And we had Tim, were you the only success on a 9? I think so.
I think maybe, I don't know, actually.
Yeah. Sure looks like
no successes on either.
all right. So Tim, on the 9, you would know at least know that the host of Austere Howl is from Britain and has had some criticism because they had in the past shared bloodlines with the Howlers.
Oh boy. I assume I know what a White Howler is, right?
Yes.
Okay.
Anyone with Gru lore would know that story.
Okay. Awesome.
All right. He looks at the Rights Master, who does kind of stop and nod. He seems to consider for a minute. And before he nods, and says, "Very well. As he is your tribe mate and you are the only Silver Fang in attendance, we will defer to your tribal rights."
Eric, like, listening to this, like, the fuck did I just hear? Seriously? She doesn't say that, but that's definitely a look.
As he nods and turns back to the group, he says, "I ask on behalf of Falcon that those who returned this warrior's corpse be recognized for acting with honor, despite the fact that this one's tribe had acted dishonorably. They recognized his personal value." And then he turns and says, "I'd ask any who wish to join me as I send forth first a howl to the ancestors and to the dead to guide him gloriously to his proper place. And as he takes his staff again, and he turns and stands facing the pier, and he taps you on the ground, and as he does, you can faintly hear the rattling of bones before he lets out quite a deep howl, as a matter of fact. He turns and gives a formal bow to the rights master and to the Alpha. And he says, Falcon thanks you for your understanding, as well as we return this young pup to him. He knew little of the Guru ways. He knew nothing of the fight for which he died for. But that doesn't mean he did not have valuable wisdom. As he takes out a handful of some sort of powder, and those closest can faintly actually smell the scent of silver, as he sprinkles like silver dust over the body. And then a slight bit of gold dust as well. And he says, we confer this one blazes with glory back to Gaia and to the Falcon. We ask that he be welcomed and honored as an ancestor for his wisdom and valor. And then he turns and says, as strange corruption and activity spreads across this city, I enact as well a rite for the dead, which I recovered myself, to ensure that this one's remains are not maligned after his death. He very solemnly scoops water from the pond, which is still swirling, and sprinkles it over the body. Takes out what looks to be a piece of bread or some cake almost from a pouch. Places it in the corpse's mouth along with a pinch of another powder. And he steps back. And now I need to make it a roll. See if he actually does it correctly. And he does. Plus. there are useful bookmarks in this book.
John, how are the elder members of the Cairn? How are they reacting to what he's doing right now? I mean, what is the look on their face? I mean, what are they exhibiting right now as far as body language?
Roll me a perception empathy.
Okay. Can I use cunning instincts?
Yes.
Okay.
Since you're trying to pick up on body language and stuff, I'd allow that.
Okay.
Funny enough, I'm trying to see how the other get that are here are reacting to this.
I have one success, but no tens.
All right. And Holly, it would have been a perception empathy for you as well. Sorry. With one success, there seems to be a mix of emotions among the others who hold SEP positions. Some of them are solemn and kind of seem to be respecting what he's doing. Others still seem a little kind of wary, excuse me. Good Lord. Air would recognize that the Get are the wariest, probably because of their relationship with the Silver Fangs.
Yep.
Other than the Wormfoe, he is very much on high alert.
Okay.
You guys would recall that he had pure breed of both Silver Fang and Wendigo. The only Get who seems kind of to be recognizing this is a Theurge who had come with you guys.
Right.
Seems to be more understanding and respectful, focused on that.
So, John, my character is just gonna try to make herself look smaller. She's trying to. She's trying to be subtle, but she's just preparing just in case anything goes wrong. So she's just, she's twitchy right now.
Luke is kind of picking up on the uneasiness of some and being at ease for others. I think he's going to step sideways.
Okay.
Just to kind of keep an eye on the Umbra.
All right. As you do, on the Umbral side, you would see Sea Dragon is actually present in the pool, and he is watching. You would also notice that standing on the corpse itself is Falcon, and he's actually got his head bowed towards the Sea Dragon. There's ancestor spirits of a couple of different tribes present as well.
Okay. Do I
You
need
guys,
anything to initiate mind speak with air?
I don't know if you can mind speak from the Umbra back to the physical.
Oh.
I think you either have to be in sight or in the same pack, but up to you, John.
That would be my
Dream
logic.
speak or something.
What's
Yeah.
that?
I was just gonna
Is there
try
a
and mind.
gift that allows him to do that?
Well, I have the gift. That's what I was
Yeah,
at.
mind speak is a Galliard gift.
Right.
But if you can't go across the veil or whatever, then no big.
I can look it up right now.
I don't think it really specifies. That's unfortunately one of the problems with this. Bless you.
Thank you.
194. Mind block. That's not what we want. I really look at the wrong fucking.
Okay. Yeah, because it's talking about using willpower per chosen sentient being.
Because I apparently am dyslexic with numbers.
Let's see here.
All beings affected must be within line of sight, or may include her entire pack. So, since you guys are not a pack, and hard to be in line of sight when you're in a different realm.
Okay.
For those of you on the other side, the Silver Fang activates. You can sense a surge of nauseous briefly as he flares with brilliant light. And then he points his staff at the pier and it bursts into a green flame. Basically, a cone of flame pours from his staff.
What color is the flame?
Green.
Okay.
And it just consumes the corpse. After that, it burns away to just the bones. And after it does, he drops to one knee, staff in front of him, bows his head, and commends the spirit back to Gaia. And then he turns to the right master and he says, I would ask that the bones be placed under a cairn of stones. Here on the sept. And if there is a place for an outsider here, I would seek to remain. In the meantime, I would ask that I would ask that I be given permission to remain, at least for the moot. And with that, he bows his head again and steps back to the kind of to the edge of the circle. The rights master nods as well. And the alpha nods. And when the rights master steps forward and says, at this point, we acknowledge the cracking of the bone, and I turn it over to the truth catcher. A woman steps forward. And she howls briefly, and she says, and she turns and looks directly at this newcomer, and she says, I am Judges the Kings, half moon on 2 legs of the tribe of Black Fairy. I'm Truth Catcher. And I give over at this point any guru who wish to air their grievances. The target of your grievance need not be present. She turns and she says, first, Alpha, do you have grievance? And he looks around and he tips back his head, and Ingarui howls, and you can tell it echoes and carries beyond the sept. And he says, on behalf of the fallen, on behalf of the wounded, on behalf of the Guru Nation, I have grievance with the Sept of Frozen Forest. We have sent forth Guru to attack Guru. This has been a declaration of war against Guru by the Sept of Frozen Forest. If it is not war they seek, I call upon their leadership to submit and make reparation and turn over leadership to those more fit. If this does not happen within the week, this sept and those who stand with me will acknowledge the Sept of Frozen Forest as having declared war and will respond accordingly. And he kind of nods and steps back. At that point, he looks around. She looks around to anyone else who wishes to air any grievances.
The major one on the head.
Well, his was also very general, so.
Right.
If there's nothing really going on in the Umbra, Lucas is going to step back to the individual.
Is there anybody actually joining him right now, as far as, taking his side? I just want to know if people are moving towards him as far as.
Well, you don't really see anyone distancing themselves. You would assume that the pack leadership is standing with them. None of them seem to be vacating.
I'm essentially just gonna stand there, being my twitchy self, trying to figure out what the hell is going on. And I'm going to rub my palms too.
All right. Anyone else have a specific grievance they wish to air?
I think like I said, she nailed that one.
I need everyone to roll. I'm going to have everyone roll a perception primal urge.
Standard?
Yes.
Seriously?
Lucas got 2.
Oh.
Here you are having a bad night tonight.
Yeah, I am.
I have 2 with 110.
All right. But, Air, since you're familiar with this one, I'm going to give you a perception. Let's go with a perception alertness as well. Scent based.
Okay.
Oh, my bad. What was it we were rolling?
Perception primal urge.
I have
Okay.
2 successes on perception alertness.
All right. You recognize a scent that you certainly never expected to smell here.
What smell is it?
As everyone else feels almost a slight ripple at the bond as something crosses it. And
I got 3 successes.
okay, you really feel the ripple. As you see a Krynos armored in leather covered with a runic sword
cutting.
strapped to his back.
I would recognize the sword.
You would recognize the smell too.
Yep.
And he carries a Krynos across his shoulders as well.
Air kind of like looks on like, oh, please, nobody cause shit.
And in a far more guttural guru tone, he walks forward and he lays the guru, and you can see the Krynos in front of him. It's definitely a corpse. And he lays it down, and you can see a crystalline dagger sticking out of its back.
Is this the same guru that I saw at the Fairyland?
It is. Was Lucas at the Fairyland? I don't remember. I didn't think so.
Air kind of tries to scoot a little closer to get a better look, but not blatantly closer.
And he looks up, and you can see his golden eyes. And he says, I, Prince Gunnar of Clan Gangrel, king of the Get of Fenris, bring grievance against the clan and tribe and family of Magnuson of the Sept of Frozen Forest. For the death and entrapment of my brother, the first Alpha Sigurd Thorson, for their continued assault on his legacy and lineage over the course of the past 700 years, and for the disgrace of which they show their name. He looks down and says, my brother was not just killed, but bound in such a way as to entrap his spirit beyond the reach of Gaia.
Air kind of gives a low growl listening to this.
He's been held here in stasis. I'd hope that some way his spirit might be returned. But it is time for it to move on, regardless of what path it has taken. I come here tonight as a kinfolk, and as he looks, his fangs kind of elongate. And he says, I come as well as a child of Cain. I bring grievance because my family was killed because they refused to kill me.
Air's kind of looking around to see how the crowd is reacting to him, like tackles up what.
A lot of them are on edge, but the rights master, who's familiar with him, just kind of nods to him, and
So Air is obviously not concerned about how he's going to act, but
the Alpha as well. He's just kind of looking on. Like, at this point, this isn't his show.
right.
Blatant, just extraordinary, abject amounts of confusion.
Can I do the mind speak with Air now?
Yes.
All right. I initiate that and be like, why are we not murdering this fucker?
Well,
Why are we letting leeches on a Sept?
why we haven't murdered him? And he's on our side.
Okay. Shouldn't he be on our side somewhere else?
He should be somewhere else, but he's decided to be here.
He looks at the rights master and at the Alpha, and he says, I will fight with you, but know that I do not seek to fight Guru. I seek to fight only those who have harmed my family. I ask that you release my brother's spirit on whatever journey it takes, and that dagger be used only with great care, for whatever it slays is killed not just in this life, but is cut off from Gaia for eternity. And with that, he draws his sword, but he does so very carefully and clearly that it's not a threat. And he holds you up, and you can see the Norse runes on it. And a lot of you guys will catch the whiff of silver on it as well. And he will say, "This sword was forged by my brother. Those who usurped his position bear yet his spear, the twin to this sword. My brother had a vision in which he and I would rule together, one by day, one by night. A vision of peace and unity in which we do not fight amongst ourselves. For those of my people do not have to be enemies with your people. There are enough threats outside this city. We don't need to fight with ourselves here." Because my brother dared to have a vision different than what he was told to follow, told to believe, he was killed. I hope that his vision can be seen by some yet today. And perhaps in his memory we can yet fulfill it and honor that legacy. I have no grievance with any guru save those who harm my family. There's no vampire in this city who is a member of my court who would attack a guru. Should a vampire attack any of you, know that you have need fear no retribution from my court should you slay him. He nods and says, "I respect the old ways and the lineage. I came as a guest. I leave as a guest. Any who come to my court will be welcomed with the same respect." At that, he nods his head and turns to walk away.
Air is just kind of sitting here half grinning, but
Air's
trying
gonna
not to be super blatant.
Roll me a perception empathy. Everyone can. Air, yours is diff 4. Lucas, yours would be diff 5. No, I lied. I keep forgetting you're not a Get Fenris.
I
Oh
am.
shit.
Yeah. Lucas is just a badass Viking glasswalker.
Mine is diff 4, you said?
Yes.
Got 3
Isolated
successes.
got 4 successes. Oh, sorry.
I got 3 successes.
I got nothing.
Oh.
Ouch.
Sorry.
So 3, 3, and 4.
Mhm.
You guys will all notice that the Get at the Sept, especially those who came from the Sept of Frozen Forest, are looking at Air to see if she's going to say anything first.
I mean,
I guess my character's going to turn to look at her now because everyone's looking at her, so I'm looking at her now.
Great.
In Mind Speak, Lucas says, looks like you got the spotlight.
And she's sitting like, yeah, I didn't really want it, but here we are.
Say
I
something.
can give you a drum roll if it helps, to present it faster, I got drums right here. I can do it.
He left the body behind, correct?
He did.
His brother's body.
Yep.
Her doesn't really say much, but she does walk up to the body and kneel next to it, knowing what she knows now.
Just before this one is out of sight, the tail singer sings with Foxfires, who is a get that came over with you, lets out a howl and says, the get have their honor yet. And you hear a howl back from Gunner just as he gets out of sight. And it just says, honor to Fenrir. As you approach the body, the right master looks at you as well.
She's kind of she didn't actually give it a full look over at the fairy thing, so now she's going to take some time and try to figure out the deal with this dagger.
Well, it seems to have pierced his heart from behind. He's a fairly battle-scarred Krynos.
Okay.
You can see a lot of battle scars. Which, given you were just informed that he founded the Sept of Frozen Forest, that would make sense.
Exactly.
You don't found a Sept without some fights.
Okay.
He's a Metis?
No. Or, well, you don't know. He's in a Krynos form right now.
He's locked into that form pretty much. Let me see my gifts here. Oops, wrong direction. Just more or less, it's something spiritual going on, obviously. I'm just trying to sort through that.
Yes. There's definitely some sort of spirit component to the dagger. Seems like it's a fetish, but it's also something else. And you're not sure what.
Might have to spend some time with that to figure that out.
Is everyone able to see this dagger, or just air right now?
Oh, no, it's pretty blatant. I mean, there's a Krynos corpse laying face down with a dagger hilt sticking out of its back.
Can I attempt to figure out what's what's up with this dagger? Like, is it occult related or not? Can I try to figure that out?
It doesn't really have any defining features.
Okay. So it just looks like an odd dagger right now.
Right.
Okay.
You were kind of told. Gunnar had said that the corpse was held in stasis and the spirit had been severed from Gaia. But
Well,
Am I able to sense any warmth from tape right now in this cairn? Is there any faint smell of worm taint right now going on in the cairn?
do you have
Yes, I
sense
do.
worm?
I do.
Then go ahead and fire that off.
I just got to figure out what I need to roll. Take a look at that.
That would be 156. It is perception occult.
Okay.
We would go with difficulty 8.
Okay. I just want to make sure that's the right number I have. Okay, so let's see what I get here. Okay, I sense nothing.
You do sense nothing.
yeah.
You're not sure why you sense nothing, but you sense nothing.
Yeah. The dice spirits aren't with me today.
No spirits of fortune for you.
Yeah, I wish. It was. I didn't botch.
Right.
So that's positive. So what is everyone doing right now while she's checking out this body?
They're kind of looking at her.
She's
So my character
examining one of her
Yeah.
dead family members' corpses.
So my character, I'm gonna approach her, and sort of, are you standing there? Are you crouched down? How are you standing there?
She's dropped down on a knee to take a look.
Okay, so my character is gonna kind of crouch down next to you and just try to whisper, saying, I don't mean to interrupt, but everyone's watching you right now. You may want to say something or howl, because the tension's pretty thick right now.
She'll put up a simple. It's a simple howl. Glory to Fenrir, but I want to put. She's obviously pissed off and at the same time. No, I don't want. I'm not like pissed off and like the. Wow, I'm bad at this.
So Rat's gonna low and slow sort of just back away just to give some space out of respect after saying that, so that Hare has a chance to state her thoughts.
Is the other Theurge around?
The Get Theurge?
Yes.
Yeah, he's kind of standing back. He doesn't have any kind of language or heritage or anything.
Well, she's gonna look over at him. Maybe we should move him now and look later, but we should probably continue the book. Like, and we're not talking later, we're talking after the moot. Look at this.
Petrus will come up then and take the body, and he kind of takes it back out of the way, obviously someplace secure. The tail singer then steps up and it's a portion for stories and songs, and she says, I'm going to tell the version of the tale that I know that was referenced by Gunnar Thorson when he brought his brother's corpse to us just these few minutes past. Sigurd Thorson was the first alpha of the Sept of Frozen Forest. Sept he established, making pact with the spirit who would become the totem of the Sept. Gathering in a time when travel wasn't easy, grew from the Isles, grew from the south and from the Slavic east, and building a strong European Sept here. He invited others as they became from the area, yet from different cultures. And he honored and respected the kinfolk of his tribe and of those tribes who came. None was more honored than his brother, Gunnar Thorson, a Get of strength and pure breed. Some who said embodied the spirit of Fenrir himself, even as a kinfolk. Who said that he could hold his own against pups even in Krynos and wrestling matches. He could spar as well and could even duel with a clave with the ability of a silver fang. Gunnar was out hunting when he was taken by a feral vampire. But he fought back. Said he bloodied that vampire so much he drove it into a frenzied thirst. And foolishly, when he was disarmed, he fought as a Fenrir would, bare hand, gouging and biting. And as he bit and drew blood from this vampire, the vampire bit back and drained him and fled as he heard howls of Guru and smelled the scent of werewolf in the area. Having fed to his fullest, the vampire fled the area Well, Gunnar awoke to find he had become something else. But Gunnar was a skilled sorcerer as well, and found that even though he had changed, he could still reach out to these spirits, still work his rune castings. And so he committed himself to Fenrir and left it to Fenrir to decide his fate, going into the wilds with nothing but himself. He honed his sorceries, gained much wisdom, and refined the powers he had garnered. And he returned to his brother, who rejoiced to see Gunnar return and embraced him despite his state. His brother forged a pair of claves, a potent sword, and a spear. Twins and yet mirrors. He gave one to Gunnar and kept one for himself. He had a vision where Gunnar, through might, would form a structure of vampires. One that would mean vampires weren't a threat to the Sept, and the Sept would not be a threat to the vampires. For the vampires had abilities in the night that differed and could be an asset. The Silver Fangs saw this as weakness on behalf of Sigurd, and they made deals of their own. Strange pacts with strange powers. And they slew Sigurd in the daytime when Gunnar could do nothing but awaken to find his brother killed. His people hunted. And so he retreated using sorceries and bloodshed. And it was decreed that the Get, the tribe that built this sept, could clearly not be trusted if they would put such a powerful, potent clave in the hands of a leech. If they would speak of working with leeches, they were clearly without honor and could not rule the sept. This was decreed by the Shadow Lords and the Silver Fangs that Sigurd had brought here. And thus it continued. The Get were shamed, reduced to lowly positions, oftentimes not being recognized for their own actions. This is the tale of Sigurd and Gunnar as it was passed to me. She nods and then says, "Tonight is a night for somber tales. We heard the tale of the young pup blazes with glory. Tale of that fight in this day and age. As that sept continues its battle against many of the Get. If any others wish to share tales, now is the time."
Kids have tales to tell.
Can Lucas kind of tell the whole thing as he knows it from the starting point where he came in with the kinfolk all the way through the fight in the coffee shop.
Yes. And if you don't actually want to go through it, you can just do a roll to see how well you say.
I don't want to go through all that. What did we say? Charisma or manipulation?
I had you do charisma. I could see manipulation if you want.
I got more in that one.
That's fine.
All right. And performance is 3. Standard?
Yes.
Four?
4 successes.
Yeah.
Um,
And if just for funsies, maybe, I don't know, if for like story purposes, burn a little rage while he's doing it too.
okay. And they would respect that and kind of see the passion of it. All right. The tail singer nods and says, a stirring and fitting tale to end on as it brings the moot full circle. The rights master steps forward and says, seems we have much to recognize, many accomplishments as well. We will engage now in the tradition of acknowledging those accomplishments. And for expedience sake, he performs the rite of accomplishment for the group present.
Okay, good.
Unless you guys really want to go through the hoop jumping, but flavor only goes so far.
Yeah, and I need to drop off soon anyway.
Because I can check down now that that's recognized.
The rights master then turns and says, if anyone has any other business to conduct before we engage the revel, now is the time. I open it to anyone who has any challenges, any other concerns or business they wish to relay to the sept.
I'm gonna speak up and I'm gonna say this. What's going on? What is all this happening here? Why are we? I just want to know.
The tail singer will step forth and say, the story we shared of Gunnar, the kindred kinfolk, and his brother, the Get Alpha, laid the foundation of an ongoing conflict. In the most recent age, she nods towards Air and says, one who has direct lineage back to Sigurd Thorson, changed, underwent her change. Pure of breed, and with lineage, she is a guru. Further, her siblings were equally pure in blood. There were Fangs and Shadow Lords who saw that as a potential threat. And there were Get who saw this as an opportunity to demonstrate their difference and to pander to those. The Sigurdssons as well were discredited by another line of Get. Disowned by these Get who declared the Sigurdssons to not be true Get, nor to reflect the values of the tribe. This led to the Sigurdssons being harassed, driven out, and possibly some of the kinfolk killed, as both of Air's siblings are unaccounted for. Due to that, there were those of us who could not tolerate that kind of treatment, especially as the Silver Fangs and the Shadow Lords seized more and more control over the Sept. And those traitorous Get that would disown the Sigurdssons and pander to the Silver Fangs and Shadow Lords, the Magnusson family specifically, got increasingly aggressive. We left seeking to find a place of our own and were welcomed here. When that occurred and we refused to crawl back, the Sept of Frozen Forest, under Magnusson's urgings and Silverfang leadership, closed borders. New grew to the city were hunted, deemed to be outsider threats, and kinfolk that were not part of the Sept were seized, taken to forcibly join the Sept and the lineages as they seek to strengthen and restore old bloodlines and isolate themselves. They also actively hunt Air. And I'm sure to a lesser degree those Get who support her. Further, they do still hold the spear of Sigurd, which one could argue would rightly be an heirloom to Air. But regardless of who it's an heirloom to, does not belong in the hands of a Silver Fang.
Air nods in agreement.
We thus stand at a precipice where a Sept is taken to isolating themselves and violently assaulting other Guru. However, they do show no sign of the worm. Seems more reminiscent of the mentalities of the early eras when tribe fought tribe, Sept fought Sept to vie for power and strength. I hope this clarifies some of the current state of conflict we find ourselves in. The dilemma in which we must go to war with other Guru, despite either side being of the worm.
No, that helps out quite a bit. And then I'm going to turn to look at the Silver Fang who's here, and I go, how is he connected?
She just kind of shrugs. The Alpha says, in the name of Falcon, he has disowned the Silver Fangs of that Sept, declaring their activities to be outside the purview of the tribe and not in keeping with their totem's wishes or stance. He came here in peace as a newcomer, He has acted with honor. He has honored the dead and blessed us with rights. He has declared support on behalf of Falcon and further validated our choice to go to war, acknowledging it as necessary to handle usurpers and pretenders who have abandoned their totem's wishes or the path of their tribe. And then the Alpha kind of looks around and says, and it would be awful hypocritical of me to discredit him or judge him strictly based on his tribe when he comes here, given that is exactly what the Fangs and Lords of the Sept of Frozen Forests have done to the Get for generations. That has put us in this position.
So, and thank you. I appreciate that. I want to know because I've been wondering this whole time. The thing that I'm struggling to understand is with them enacting warfare from days gone by, what I don't understand is the world's collapsing around us and we're fighting amongst ourselves. There's so much that's going on right now, and that we should be coming together.
We should, but
The Alpha nods his head and says, I respect your stance, and indeed it's one that for a long time I've taken myself. That is why this sept, only recently established, holds not just Guru. Because if you look around, you will see with us many different children. But I cannot come together with one who would kill other Guru. And if their sept has taken the stance that any outsider Guru is to be hunted down, indeed, they slew a pup on the eve of his first change. They incited that change by assaulting him. If those are the behaviors and the stance that sept will take, we cannot unite with them. We cannot embrace that stance ourselves, nor can we tolerate it from our neighbors. While it is with sorrow and regret that I must do it, we will act accordingly. Accept the fact that their stance is tantamount to a declaration of war to any Guru not of their sept, and that such a declaration of war must be answered, they must be subdued, they must submit, or be killed to ensure the safety of the rest of the Guru and the capacity for the rest of the Guru to unite against outside threats. We cannot address outside threats if we have threats within our own ranks.
I respect that. My question is, do we know if they have allies?
Outside this sept, we don't know. We know that at some point in the past they've worked, the Magnuson family and these Fangs and Shadow Lords worked with some other being to forge the dagger that killed Sigurd. Do they have connections beyond the Guru? I don't know. Do they have connections with other Gru we don't know about? Possible, but unlikely, given their stance. And especially given that these fangs are not acting in accordance with their own tribe's totem. Do that long enough, they may find they are no longer fangs, and they need a totem, lest they be Ronin.
And do we have allies for ourselves to support this war that is upon us?
He chuckles and says, apparently even the leeches will support us.
Yes.
Beyond that, we are a diverse sept. We have Guru who come from rare and unique backgrounds, who know gifts that are uncommon or even were lost. We have spirits of much diversity. We have with us a variety of other of guys' children working with us. Our gatekeeper is a crow who serves the Morgan, although not as one of her camp. Thankfully for us. Our forge master is one of the fox folk, a rare European fox folk. One of our only guardian at this point is one of the cat folk. We embrace this diversity and seek allies. We have welcomed those who have been disenfranchised elsewhere. Our gatekeeper has allies in the city to ensure that newcomers are directed here, hopefully before they are found by the aggressive tactics of the other sept.
And I want to say, first of all, I'm grateful for being able to be here. I want to say that I'm grateful for everyone to be here. On the other note, I guess the thing I'm trying to wrap my mind around is something just doesn't smell right with all this, with this other stuff. Something doesn't smell right.
They are
Something,
right.
it just seems like there's too many missing pieces for what they're doing.
They have always sought to hold on to their rulership.
Yeah.
What good is a
matter how they hold on to it?
What good is a throne if it's empty? What good is a throne when you have nothing left to rule over?
They obviously have enough. Though they accept lost allies, and indeed lost people of position.
They did.
But they still maintain they have closed ranks, but they're not certainly not hurting too dearly. The sept continues. There are those who would carve out their own little kingdom and engage in their own existence. They're isolated from everything else.
Well, I pledge this. I may be of low rank. I may be of one who has dealt with adversity, but at the same point, I'll be damned if I'm going to let anyone kill me for being who I am. And if it means survival, then it means survival.
He kind of just nods in acknowledgement at that.
I'm going to look around. What are other people's reactions with that being said? With his acknowledgement.
Well, most of them kind of seems like most of them who are here had a better handle on what was going on. They'd been here at least a couple days.
Oh, John, is this like a time for people to talk like freely, I see?
Yeah, this is questions, any concerns, any challenges you have to issue.
Okay. Isolated incident. Yeah, because I didn't hear it mentioned during the stories and all that. If they did, then oh well. Isolated will just ask. There we go. Yeah, isolated will just say, this may seem like an unrelated question, but I ask that everyone bear with me. I know that it is more than possible to detect taint of the worm, but what of taint of the weaver?
And the Alpha looks at you and says, well, the Weaver's touch can be hard to follow. We try to avoid the city where the Weaver is powerful. She feeds on the machinations of man, but as long as we maintain, we can usually offset it.
I lack the spiritual knowledge to verify this myself. However, I have heard that. Out of character, what's the name of the other stuff? Frozen something.
Frozen
the
Forest.
Frozen Forest.
Frozen Forest? I have reason to believe during my excursion to the pattern web that there is a chance that that Sep's totem has felt the Weaver's touch. This is not an accusation. This is a suspicion.
The Alpha turns and says,
Huh.
well, it seems then we have perhaps further investigations to do, but that may explain some of the changes. Certainly, isolationism would be a method of the Weaver.
I would like to gather Theurges and Glasswalkers amongst us and make a bit of an excursion out. No, she wouldn't say it like that. She's a wolf. And scout the sept for this evidence. Because if that is true, then it will not matter of their isolationism or hostility. At that point, they are allowing a cairn to be violated. And that cannot be allowed. And as she says that, she actually kind of stamps her paw on the ground.
Veronica's just watching all this while getting her bearings.
He we kind of are just looking around, and there's a fair number of theurges that hold position, or at least are of significant rank. And they say there's certainly something we need to look into. And we appreciate your relaying it. We will have to see, as far as an excursion that may need to be coordinated.
I do have a question in the meantime. And I think this investigation is I think it's a great idea. My concern is twofold. One, what do we do in the meantime to protect when we're not in the cairn? And two, how do we know that they aren't already gathering information on what we're attempting to figure out?
Out of game, is this one of those moots that anyone can talk or bring a suggestion?
Yes, this is kind of the open forum point.
Have you considered getting an outsider?
Well, we seem to have a slew of those lately.
What we do.
See, they're probably used to things being around how they are in Amsterdam and what they can get their claws around. But if they don't have their bearings on things they don't know, such as people outside of Amsterdam that can infiltrate and they see who wants to join or not. I had the lovely pleasure of encountering some of them. They don't seem to ask questions.
No, they have taken a fairly hostile immigration policy, as it were.
I have a no tolerance to that policy towards that. Unfortunately, they won't tell their friends. What about a trap?
I'm sure individual actions will have to be planned. Certainly, this is not something that we are going to engage in a single.
This doesn't seem like something you can do in one shot and deal with.
No.
What am I allowed to ask what has been done?
At this point, we've gathered some information. our primary goal has been to protect newcomers, protect the refugees from who chose to leave the Sept of Frozen Forest and consolidate. This was the first time we've had such a brazen, openly hostile attack.
How do you guys prevent spies from getting in?
Good question.
He kind of chuckles a little bit at that. And he says, when your Sept totem is the master of riddles, puzzles, and secrets, it's very, if not easy, we at least have an advantage.
That's a good thing.
You see, someone can wander into this wetland, and they can walk every square inch of it and never get onto the Sept.
Well played.
But that brings up another question. And I don't want to go down the rabbit hole here. But what if, just bear with me on this, what if they had some of the members leave, and you see air quotes here, so that they could infiltrate other groups as though we are taking refugees? And I'm not saying anyone here is a spy, but I'm saying if they're that paranoid, I wouldn't doubt they would have some potential clever plan, knowing that you oppose them.
Well,
I don't think they think we're prepared to deal with
until
them.
tonight, they did not know the Sept even existed. Even now, after our declaration, they will struggle to get in. Especially given the Sea Dragon is master of riddles, puzzles, and secrets, ensures that we are not as easily deceived, granting us gifts to help us discern truth from lies and insights into mysteries and secrets.
Well, that makes me feel better.
I think we are skipping steps.
What steps do you think we're skipping?
Oh, I didn't hear that. My bad.
Oh, I was saying, what steps are we skipping?
We're coming up with hypotheticals for what to do once we've properly ascertained the threat. Right now, we need to properly ascertain the threat.
A couple of the guru kind of mutter, not necessarily in disagreement, but after a moment, one of the guru who had come from the Sept of Frozen Forest says, I think we've ascertained that the immediate threat is the hostile guru of the Sept of Frozen Forest. But I understand what you're getting at, that there may be a root threat beneath that.
We have a lot of different threats on that because if they're getting numbers, it's like they're using something to get people to agree with them, or at least be afraid of them.
Yeah, they've clearly have appealed to somebody to garner support.
Almost definitely.
Yes, and I am simply saying, if we just start making moves without knowing all the proper information, we could waste energy trying to be ineffective.
I don't disagree with your statement. I don't disagree at all. I think right now, though, we're trying to figure out. We're trying. Well, I mean, essentially, we're all in shock here. You know, none of us expected this to necessarily happen, but here it is. And now, obviously, we have the Titan rank to know. And of course, once again, I'm just trying to see what I can do to help. You know, do we know? We know that they're isolating. We know that right now they're not necessarily accepting other people. It's not like I can just go walk over there and say hello without getting, murdered. But I agree with you. We have to know. We have to know what's going on. We have to know the numbers. We have to know, what type of threat are we actually dealing with. I totally agree.
Veronica looks at the lupus. Can I add an idea to your scouting?
Yes?
What if we captured somebody?
That could be handy.
This could work.
I may not be a Theurge, but I definitely know there are spirits within my tribe's ranks that can make people talk if in excruciating agony.
We may do even that. From what I understand, the kin there are being mistreated, correct? Or am I wrong?
Oh, that is definitely correct.
It wouldn't even need to be a capture, merely a rescue.
I would like to add, and this is a different direction, but and I want to know if I can be granted permission on this. But I would like to know if I could talk with amongst the rat folk, because they have ears and eyes everywhere. I was hoping maybe I can get some more information, since they're all over the city, to find out what else is going on. As long as you grant me permission to do so.
The office says you don't need permission to discuss with whoever you think is beneficial. That's your business.
I thank you for that, but I want to make sure that I was being respectful, and I didn't want to betray the trust of the Karen. I'll try to bring back what I know.
Trying to think of stuff that could help because I missed the layout of the set.
Out of game, Holly, do. Oh, sorry.
No, go ahead.
Holly, out of game, does my character know you're a Theurge?
I think she said so in an introduction.
Okay. Oh, yeah, that's right. Would
So my kid-
spirit? You
No,
go
go
first. Then. Okay.
Go ahead.
Veronica looks at Holly's character, Ear. Is it? Am I pronouncing it right?
Yep.
I know you are of the crescent moon. Would spirits inside a fetish know something?
They might, but talk is likely an ordeal in itself. Not impossible, but takes a lot of time. Could be done though.
And Air, as far as I can recall, and everything that's been said here, it sounds like there's a target on you.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. Sorry, they haven't been fond of me my entire life. It doesn't seem like anything new to me.
No, but I understand. But now that they're actually taking a more active role and assassinating those that are close to you, I mean, it sounds like one of the actions we need to take is also to be able to protect you, since at this point they're gunning for you.
Are assassinating anything that is on their side. I'm sure they'll come knocking on my door for.
I'm sure they'll be 6 feet under again.
Now, the question is, how brave do you want to be? Because I thought of something which, once again, I would never suggest until we have more information. But they got a target in your back, right?
Yeah.
How do you lure out the bugs? You put some honey. If they want to come after you, we could finally get them to come out, so that we know what we're really facing. I'm not saying for you to put yourself in that position, but what I'm saying is,
You're saying we could make use out of
Makes
it.
perfect sense.
You want
but that all depends.
I'm not
I don't want to
afraid
say. I don't want to call Air's not bait, but what I'm saying is, they're coming for her. We can at least now get to see what the faces we're actually facing and who is who and what we're dealing with.
Why did you say you don't want to use her as bait and then suggest to use her as bait?
What I'm saying is not to call her bait. I don't want. I'm trying to be respectful. I'm not saying that to call her bait. But what I'm saying is, if she could just walk out in the city and bam, something could happen. What I'm saying is, if we know that there's a target on her, obviously, we want to keep eyes on her because she's going to generate a lot of interest wherever she's going. Because they know who she is.
Close to it.
They don't know who I am yet.
And there you go. And she's going to draw out those who are going to try to do as what we've seen here, unfortunately. So obviously we're going to need to find a group that can stay relatively close. They don't know.
You mean like
I'll raise my hand right now. They don't know me. I'm just some street trash. No one gives a shit about me. No one ever will. I'm not afraid.
Sorry.
Go ahead.
No, keep going. I was going to wait.
I'm just saying I'm street trash. They ain't going to care about me, Jack in the Hole. So I'm saying I'm willing to stick around because at least then we have eyes and ears to help identify, if not protect.
The Rights Master will look at you and he points to where Jordan's bones still lie, and he says, they didn't know him either.
Right.
From what I understand, they will kill you all the same. And from what I understand, they will just try more for her. And she kind of points her nose at air.
Veronica, out of game's gonna do a ballsy move. She pulls out the chain fetish. Found this on one of them.
I remember that.
She has no idea the significance of this.
They chose not to ask any questions and ambushed me. And now they have one less Silverfang on their side. But this belonged to one of them. They have to get a spirit to agree to let them use it. Maybe spirit possibly knows about the person I killed or anything going on there. As far as I know, if they're attacking people on site, this might be something they stolen from somebody.
Big possibility.
The Forge Master will come up to look at the chain. And he'll kind of inspect it. And he lets out a low whistle. And he says, well, it's no claymore, but it would do some damage.
Veronica lifts an eyebrow.
Has a binding spirit that can be used to force a guru into whatever form the wielder desires.
Oh. Oh.
So, in
is
other
right.
words, he was trying to attack me in Hamid, so I couldn't fight in Kyrdos.
Or he forces you into lupus and throws you in a kennel.
Growls.
Or what you're saying is now we have something, if we're planning to capture somebody,
Exactly.
do what we need to do. And on that note, I would like to say to everyone, as we're talking about air, is, you know what? We're all here, and we are stronger in numbers than not. I think there should be a group that at least stays near her, you know, because we can't, at some point, we will have to go out.
You are proposing a pact.
If that's what you want to call it, yes. All I'm saying is, right now, she's got the target. It's gonna be in our best interest to have people near her, knowing it, because if they're gonna kill us, they're gonna kill us. But you know what? We'll fight better in a group than without a group. And I'm not a fighter.
The moment you take Krynos, you are.
Yes.
My character's just gonna sigh. I'm just saying, now we have this nice little fetish here, because you can almost guarantee they're gonna attempt to ambush her.
They might.
And like I said, strength in numbers.
I think the Rights Master will step forward and say, I certainly think some discussions need to be had and some plans done and reconnaissance done, but I agree as well that we cannot simply wait indefinitely.
All right. Then let us get started. She looks over at the group here, and she just asks, who here would like to run together, at the very least temporarily?
I'm not just interested in running together. I'm interested in spilling blood of my enemies. She gives
Should
a
I take that
fiendish
as a
smile.
yes?
Yep.
She nods. She looks to Air and Rat for their answers.
Well, actually, I'm going to turn to Air and say, Air, we've been talking about you, but we haven't let you talk. What is it that you want to say? What is it? What are your thoughts on all of this?
Oh,
And I whisper, I can break the drums out for you if you want.
she just glares at Rat. No.
Damn it.
I definitely didn't know where to start with all of this, but I knew it was going to happen eventually just based on their actions in the past. And working as packs is probably definitely safer than going in for everybody.
So, is that a yes?
Yes.
She nods. She looks over at Rat.
Can I play the drums while we do this?
I have played the drums. They are fun. Yes.
Well, then, as long as I can give us a marching beat, let's go on to battle.
Excellent.
I'm still not a fighter, though. Just want to get the heads up.
We should gather whatever we need to gather for this scouting mission. I will want to do it in the next few days.
Veronica nods.
And so, Veronica, I should introduce myself. We haven't had a chance to speak. I'm Rat. And one thing I want to ask is it seems that you were out for blood, and I get that. Are you at least willing to let one survive using this chain that you have so that we can at least get intel?
Oh, of course. I wouldn't let. That would be really foolish, for one, and I intend to win. And they have information we don't have. Plus, there's nothing more amusing to let those repay those silver fangs for trying to get the drop on me.
Oh.
I'm going to turn to look. My character, Rat's going to turn to look at our guest over here just to see his reaction when that's being said.
Wait, look at who now?
At the silver fang that had come to do the rites. As Veronica says that, I'm going to look to see what his reaction is.
He doesn't seem to flinch.
Interesting.
Honestly, out of game, those silver fangs are disgraceful.
Yeah, you weren't here for that part. You came in later, but
Oh,
there's a
Yep.
purebreed 5 silver fang who came to this sept that nobody knew, but he basically said that the silver fangs of that sept are not acting in accordance with Falcon's values.
oh, they're not.
What kind of silver fang gonna come at you with a chain?
Right.
To be fair,
Honest-
he was deferring to a get. What kind of silver fang does that?
Oh, hell
Damn.
no!
My character just shrugs her shoulders. You know. Wait. So, isolated incident. You mentioned you had something, right? Wasn't there something you and Air were talking about before all this started?
The Weaver problems.
Yeah.
Is there a connection between the chain and
It might be related.
Huh.
That's not the topic at hand.
I'm no Sherlock Holmes. I'm just saying.
If it turns out they are related, then they are related. If they are not,
You know, on that same logic, you teach someone to build a fire and stay warm for the night, or set them on fire and they stay warm the rest of their life. It's a choice you can make.
maybe. I'm just saying
Okay.
the only difference that it makes is either they're attacking us and we need to fight back, or they're attacking us and they're violating a cairn, and we need to fight back and protect the cairn in the name of Gaia.
You're not hearing any complaints from me. I'll say that much. But before we get all excited and make these plans, we still need to get the approval from those above us.
Isolated just looks at the Sept Alpha.
Right?
Out of game, the killings are happening with or without you guys.
Honestly, even if he said no, like Isolated would just walk away and be like, okay, so we're doing it like next week, right?
Yeah. And that's where Veronica's going to be like, yep, let's go and do this.
The rights master looks at the rest of you and says, perhaps it would be prudent to spend some time formalizing tactics as a pack, and perhaps approaching a spirit as well. I suggest perhaps sparring tonight at the revel.
That sounds fun.
These are all good ideas. This is also why I suggest that we waited a few days. Not just because all of us have work out of game.
It's just out of game. It's just assume if we're not fighting, Veronica's just spending time with her kinfolk.
That makes sense to me.
Fair enough, fair enough. Yep, and she'll say, it's decided then. Wags her tail. She is happy. She has been productive.
Whoa, hold on a second. But because you said it's decided, we haven't even formally formed a pack yet. We haven't set rank here. I guess if we're gonna spar, maybe
challenge for rank, isn't it?
Well, I would say so, but I would say whoever wins the spar should be the one making the decisions on what's said is done.
I asked, all of you agreed, so I thought we were doing it. Does that not mean that you're doing it?
No, that's correct, but I believe it was my idea who said we should form as a pack. Strength in numbers.
So what are you saying?
What I'm saying is we need to collaborate here.
That is what we are doing.
No, but you say it and done. I don't. My shit doesn't fly south.
I hope
What
it
does
doesn't
that
fly
mean?
Your country has a south?
My country has. What it means is I'm not done flinging it until we're done talking.
I did not say we were done talking. I just said that we had decided to run together. That's all I was saying.
Well, why didn't you say that? You said it.
I did say that.
No. You acted as if we were just. I think we need. I agree that we need to get some kind of formal idea here. Some plan of action, maybe to figure out what is all our strengths. Come together, coalesce. Whatever nomenclature floats your boat, I guess.
I would love to know strengths. What is your tribe in auspice? Because you have not told me.
But have you exactly done? Well, no, I'm trying to remember if you told me yours. My memory's kind of short.
I did not give you mine because you did not give me yours, and you approached me.
Do I need to tell you? Obviously, look at me. I'm wearing these the clothes of a champion here. Tattered vest here. I got dreadlocks, and I'm living the streets. Clearly,
Are
I'm
you
a
paying
classwalker.
attention to not answer a question directly?
What I'm saying is, can't I build to a crescendo here? Do you believe in not building the story? If I got to say it directly, I'm going to lose all the fun.
Comedian, rat, bonar.
Perhaps we should learn a bit more on what we would each bring to the table and what we desire, as opposed to just a mission. This way we could work more cohesively as opposed to bitch and bicker.
That's true, and I don't even know anything about Veronica. Besides that, got some great ideas.
But I am a bitch.
We'll talk about that later.
Well,
you meant slang.
you know what? Isolated incident. If you could say it kindly, I might just tell you.
Isolated sits calmly.
Unless you're speaking to me telepathically, I'm not getting anything up here to hear.
Wait.
How close are Rat and Isolated standing
She's not
together?
far away because she just heard if you sit quietly, and she sat quiet. She said quietly.
Yeah, and I'm right next to you, Air, because remember when I approached.
Where in my circle is Isolated? If you're right next to me, where's Isolated?
I figured Isolated was like across from her.
Everybody roll me a perception empathy.
Son of a... Oh, no.
Everybody? Or just...
Yes.
What did you guys do? No.
Empathy,
Ooh.
that's a foreign
First
concept.
fail.
Standard?
Yep.
Okay. Yeah, I got 2.
I got 3.
Oh, rub it in.
I got 3.
So who are we waiting on yet? Lucas?
Nope, Lucas had to leave. Didn't he?
Okay, who am I missing?
Yeah.
Kim?
I got 3 successes.
I think I'm waiting on Tim yet.
I got
No,
3.
I straight failed.
Oh, okay. All right. Well, everyone except Tim would notice the wormful getting rather agitated and impatient. The rights master will say to Veronica that they should talk after.
I'm not gonna lie, I was thinking everything was starting to get cleared out. My bad.
That's fine. You guys notice it first, but the wormfolk kind of, at that point, kicks things into high gear, as it were, letting out almost a call to arms type howl, and many of the and since you guys probably didn't, I don't know if I mention it. So as he jumps forward, he shifts into his lupus. And you would notice that his is almost like a cobalt silver. There's like a bluish tint to it. And he lets out his call to arms howl, and some of the other gurus shift as well, and they start to a lot of them start to pair up. Some of them begin racing through the sept already. Some of them begin to spar. And the rights master, just before he turns off to head off who knows where, he gestures to a clearing and he says, "That area is yours. What better way to get to know one another?" And you guys all feel yourselves getting fired up as well.
Time to beat the crap out of each other. Funny enough, what I was getting at before was Air wanted to reach over and clonk your heads together for your bickering.
You should just grab the popcorn. It would have been more convenient. Well, I'm going to go over to the area they said to go over, and I'm going to sit down and start banging my bongos. Well, every fight needs a good song. You gotta get into the mood.
All right, so you guys are going to spar? You guys pairing off to spar, or is it just kind of going to be a free-for-all?
Isolated is not organized enough to be like, I'm fighting you, you're fighting them. Like, Isolated is just like, so
3 rounds.
3 rounds.
A pair off, and then the winners of those pair offs take each other.
Fair enough. We actually, John, how much steam do you have left, dude?
Oh, well, I was going to ask how you guys want to handle it. If you want to do like just a simple dueling rotation, or if we just want to RP through it, or
we can do rotation. I mean, it just there's no out of character. There's no chance in hell my character's going to hold up to anyone in this group as far as a fight. Ain't my talents.
As far as
I mean, like you were generated in every form. Like, yeah, no, like, yeah.
The spirits of luck are not on my side. Have you not seen my rolls?
I mean, we are at a moot. We can shift Krynos and beat the crap out of each other.
Oh, you mean just go back to my normal form? Be all natural? Yeah, Hell with it. I shift to Krynos. Fuck it.
My character's shifting to Keranos.
Fuck it. Isolated slow shifts to Krynos.
And I start growling. I guess if I'm gonna get my ass handed to me, I'm going down in a fight. So. I'm looking over at Air because You still haven't
Oh,
done
what?
shit.
Sorry.
Yeah, you haven't done shit. I'm looking at you because you're the only one not in Krynos form right now.
Oh, yeah. Well, sorry. I had a moment out of character. I will shift to
Oh.
Krynos. That was my plan. I'm focusing on, well, I have to pee. All right, let me be blunt here.
Okay, so yeah, maybe that was a little too much, but thanks.
So she
But
tapped
I
out.
was kind of lost in that. So give me a hot second, but she will shift to Krynos, and yes.
All right, so you guys are gonna pair up and spar.
Yeah,
That's what it looks
that
like.
sounds like.
I guess Rat's gonna call out isolated incident since you clearly weren't kind enough to ask politely to know what I can do.
Oh, I thought you.
So this lonely Bonar is about to get her ass handed to her, but she's going down with a fight or a whimper, depends how well the spirits look upon me.
So is this going to be two different sparrings going on at once, or you two first and then?
Well, we could. Oh, go ahead.
I guess either way, sparring. So basic dueling rules is pretty straightforward. Of everybody gets an attack roll and a defensive roll each round.
So we're just going to keep it really simple. Okay.
Right.
Okay.
So you basically alternate back and forth. You attack and they get their defensive roll, and then flip flop.
Okay.
Okay. Who's Ulrich 5286 on here? Who rolled 4d10 just now?
If you type /Nick and then a space, you can put in a nickname.
Well, it's not me. I know that much. So
I think there you go.
Yeah,
So
I can
how do you do it?
/Nick, NICK, and then a space, and then whatever you want your nickname to be.
Sorry, I'm back.
it's all over. You already lost the fight, didn't you realize? It's it was over in a moment. That tree was not worth your time. So I'm gonna need a little help here. It's been a while since I've played.
Who versus who, or do we let someone else pick?
Oh no! I already called out isolated incident, so it's up to you two to spar afterwards.
So it's your attack roll is Dex Brawl, assuming you're using claws or bite.
Yeah.
And then a defensive roll is either Dex Brawl to parry or Dex Athletics to dodge.
Oh shit. Okay.
Holly,
Good
I'm using simple dueling rules for my own sanity and to speed things up. So it's
Fair
just
enough.
each person gets an attack and a defensive each round. And then we'll just compare successes.
Okay.
I don't know what we want to do for a success threshold. First one to 10 successes.
I say 5 since it's getting it's getting pretty late though. I mean,
5 can go pretty quick if someone smokes you on a roll and you have a bad roll. That can be one round.
Yeah.
True. Okay.
Because you think about
10 it is.
Right.
10 would be better.
Yeah.
It goes pretty quick because with dueling rules, you're not rolling damage anyway.
Okay.
So
So let me get this going.
Okay.
So Krynos, let's see, Dex Brawl.
I got 4 successes to attack.
Are we
Yeah.
allowed to roll willpower or no? Or add willpower? No.
like spend a willpower for a success.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's fine.
Okay.
So,
Isolated is
So,
just going to block it.
so I rolled 4 to
Well, she's going to try it, rather.
Air's gonna look over at Veronica.
Okay.
Who do you think
There you
wins?
go. Two got through.
Okay, and just so you guys know, when you type in a dice code, if you after the dice code you can put a pound and then you can add comments.
Okay.
So you can put spending willpower or defensive or attack right in there, which really makes it go quick.
Yeah.
Alrighty.
Okay. So
isolated.
Sorry. I got 5 because I have, if we're counting,
Yeah, because you have a specialty that's applicable.
Yeah. Okay.
So you have 5 against air on your attack. So.
Sorry, dodge, attack, dodge.
Dodge or parry.
Well, what is Veronica coming at me with?
Claws.
Wait, are you trying to delay?
Let's see. Maybe I'll try to parry him with my own claws.
Oh, that sucks. We traded blows. Oh, damn.
Because this man, like, Isolated is using fists. Like, she's not trying to kill Rat.
No, you can use claws in dueling. You just obviously then the intent is, hey, you don't dig it in for damage after you hit, basically.
Right.
Honestly, if I wanted to do major damage, I would just activate the fetish, but that would mean I would be killing people here, and I don't want to do that.
That's generally frowned upon at a moot.
Oh, I totally see why.
Barring very few circumstances.
And it would look really bad being the newcomer. It's like, hey, wait a minute, we let you live here, and you're doing what?
What's the difficulty for the parry?
Isolated, I respect. We went blow for blow there. We traded off. That's a good. I like the fight. Even if I go down, at least we're evenly matched right now.
Yeah, so you're each at 2.
At 2, yeah.
Okay. Let me get. Air's got to roll her defensive.
Yeah, the parry.
It's standard.
Standard. I just wanted to make sure.
Yep.
I got 3.
All right, so Veronica's 2 up on you, but you have your attack roll yet.
All right.
So Dex Brawl for you, unless you're wielding a weapon.
Just claws.
Fucking, she gets serious and grabs the dagger.
Oh god, I have 3 on the hit roll too.
All right. Oh Christ, 3 10s.
Yeah, no specialty.
All right, so that would be a Dex Athletics then for.
Yep, I'm choosing to do athletics
Dex
to dodge.
Okay.
I'm choosing just to evade.
Sure. So tied off. So.
God damn, it's gonna be like a baseball game for you two.
As it stands, we've got 2 each between Isolated and Rat, and then Strikes is up 2 on Air. So Air has 2 against her, and right. So next round, have at it.
Okay, I'm going to bite Isolated. For 1. Ooh.
So just so you guys know, for ease of sanity, if you just hit, you can use the up arrow to cycle through your last. I don't know why you're roll there.
Come on, computer.
Huh, okay. Alrighty.
You got a lot. You got a lot of dice.
So 3 successes.
I'm working on mine. My computer is being a turtle.
Oh, thanks, John. I like that. That does help.
Yeah.
Who's Hand of Heaven?
That was me. I was just doing a demo, so.
Oh, okay.
All right.
Come on.
So, isolate, was that your defensive roll or was that your attack?
That was my defense.
That was defense because I was attacking with the bite.
So you take 1.
Yeah.
Right.
Or you
I
got
have-
1 against you.
Okay, I have 4 because of the specialty. I just saw the 10.
Gonna so Dex athletics.
She spent
Oh,
another
it's the same
willpower on
as
that one.
No, I didn't
Yep.
spend. Oh, you are? Okay.
I would sing you guys under the table.
She's just dodging. Yeah, I'm glad I spent that willpower
Oh,
you-
shit.
You take 2 of them. So, right now,
to 4.
you're up to 4. And now we can flip-flop. So, isolated and air would attack.
Yep. I'm just waiting for isolated to pitch slap me good.
Listen, it might not happen.
You
Like,
Here's my
Oh.
attack.
okay? I would laugh my fucking ass off if you botched. Okay, you didn't botch. Oh shit. Okay, well here we go. Nothing. Oh, I took a big blow there.
So, strike still breaks even. We now have rats taking 6.
Yep.
Right?
Yep, and
No,
4,
5.
5 and 4. Yeah.
And isolated has taken 3. She
Yep.
was at 2. Air has taken 4. And strikes is untouched. So next round.
Okay. Here we go. Let's see what happens. 4! Yes! Finally a good roll.
1.
I got 110. I got a shit, he doesn't do shit.
I'm sorry.
Come on.
Dodge.
No, you're not. Don't lie to me. Friggin' take down my glory when I'm trying to do something. You know how hard it is to roll 4? That's all I got here.
Hey, no, I know how hard it is. I did that in the last scene I was in.
Maybe I'm blind. Maybe I misread what. Oh, no, I didn't.
All right. So, Air, that was your attack or your.
Dear Lord, I've been shorting myself my dice roll. I've been rolling with my normal decks, not my. Oh my God!
It was my dodge.
Okay. So,
Oh, you're wrong with Krynos decks, bruh.
nobody took nothing on that round.
Yeah.
Nope.
I was
Alright.
doing my
So
homage
flip.
form, and God damn, I'm gonna add an extra dice because I've been messing this up.
Ooh, 5.
So,
Oh,
ouch.
Yeah.
Just staying strong on the 0. To be fair,
Oh, I
you
got
had
a
comeback
0.
here.
Oh, one more. I'm going down.
That was your attack or your. Yeah, so we need
That was my
isolate.
block.
We need isolated's attack yet.
Oh, I thought I slid. Okay, good. I still rolled 0, so. maybe
yeah,
there-
yeah, no. Wait,
I got
so are we? Am I attacking now?
Yeah,
Yes.
you're attacking me.
Okay.
Just lay it on, you know. I
Hey,
said
this
lay
was
it
fun.
on.
This was fun.
I leave you wide open. I stood there like a dumbass, and come on.
So Rhett's taking 7, no change for anyone else.
No, I think Rat's at 6.
At 6. I'm at 6.
You're right. All right, it was 5. I screwed up.
No, it's
Right.
okay. That's
Next
why I'm
drop.
keeping track, so that way you don't need to.
Next round.
Okay. 2. Woohoo! Glorious 2. Again, isolated. Thanks.
So I believe that puts me at 5 damage on air.
Yes. And isolated blocked the shit out of that one. So we will flip flop.
Oh, I got 3. Woo-hoo. Yeah. Jesus.
So now I took a hit. Oh wait, no.
No, it's,
Hold on, wait. I'm just looking at it because you got a 10 and a 1. It's like, huh? That confused
So
me.
yeah, you still broke even.
Yeah.
Rat takes
2. So it's
2.
at 8.
So you're up to 8. Isolated still sitting at 3. All right, next
John,
round.
say that with glory as I'm going down a defeat. You know, make it an epic tale as I go down.
Next round. All right.
Yay, whopping 2. I did say I'm not a fighter. I clearly stated this to everyone.
I don't know. Brad did just enough to make Isolated take this seriously.
That's okay. Meanwhile, we're still duking it out.
John, should I be spending rage just to make sure I get more hits? Because clearly I'm not doing anything. It's gotta be, you know, I gotta do it by attrition here.
So I need Isolated's block yet, right?
No, Isolated sleeping and still blocks. What are you talking about?
Everybody else came out a wash.
Yeah, see what I said.
All right,
Yeah,
so it's wash that round.
Actually, I got one more success than her. She got a 1, I think.
No, it
No, I had
automatically
3.
subtracts that out.
Okay.
Yeah, that's what when you use that F part, it automatically subtracts out the ones.
Okay.
Yep.
Oh, got it. Okay.
All right. So
Yay, look at my 3. It'll be showing up by a 5. I say 5. I'm doing this as gambling now.
So
now I need.
so now it's neck flip.
Yep, I need air's attack yet and strikes block. And that's a wash.
Rat's having a second wind. We're coming back.
So next round, that was a wash all around.
Oh, damn.
I dread it. 1 hit. Wow. Seriously, you just had to do that. Just
Solid blocks.
Oh. Okay. Ooh, 2.
Shoot. Sorry.
Getting ahead of yourself.
That was by I actually hit enter. Hey, I figured
You're
I would make
preparing
it.
for the next one.
I meant to type it to prepare for the next one, so I don't have to.
Right.
Sorry,
I
John.
figured because I've been doing the same thing.
At least I hashtagged what I'm doing.
Oh, I'm at
Right.
9. I got 1 more. Oh, God.
Did I see a attack from air or not yet?
Yes, I had the 4.
Oh, there it is. I thought that was your block
So-
up above.
No.
I follow now. I saw the extra defensive down below, and that's what threw me off. Right, so air actually landed 2. Correct? Am I following?
Yep.
She received none. Isolated ruled 3 to attack, so that's
I
1
took-
more.
Yeah, so I'm at 9.
All right.
I'm holding on to, onto the edge.
Next round.
Don't do it, computer. Don't do it.
Right.
Oh shit! 2 10s.
I'll let you know how I
6.
do here.
Wow.
All right.
My computer should be coming back any minute now.
Okay.
Okay. Well, isolated. You wanna go down in glory? You're definitely showing me up here, saying, you know.
It's okay. I'm getting the get offenders to respect me.
Yeah, but it's
All
no
right,
silver
here
thing.
2 successes.
Versus
Right, so you
6.
took 4, so you're at 9.
Oh.
Hey, don't feel bad, Air. I'm there too.
And then if we flip flop, Isolated's holding strong. I have a feeling I know who's facing off in the championship bracket.
I have a feeling too.
Well, I'm not wasting willpower on this. This is beneath me. Damn it. 3. I am down. I go down the Blizzard.
All right. So Rat is tagged out.
Yeah, fuck.
Isolated looks right. It's actually rather affectionate, but yeah, the licking is happening. Grooming is happening now.
All right. So
Don't worry, I can outthink you. That's all that matters.
I am waiting for. That might be debatable too, but I'm.
Hey, what are you saying, John? That's biased.
I mean, Isolated is a glass walker.
True.
Yeah, I can survive anywhere. So what am I with?
All right, so I need one more round yet. Probably just one more from Strikes and Air.
All right.
I'm rooting for Air right now. I'm going go Air.
All
Make a
right. So,
comeback.
so I'll roll my attack.
Yeah.
That'd be
I'm
a hell
rooting
of a
for you,
comeback.
Air. There you go. I knew you could do it.
It's a good start though.
Right.
That puts her up. So then flip flop. So Air's attack. Real good start.
Oh, I'm beating the drums now for Air. I'm on her side.
So
Make
she's
this comeback.
closing the gap.
At least someone is. I couldn't.
Keep rolling if you guys want.
Ouch.
Okay.
There you go. I get 2 at least. Well, there it is. All right, so your roll for attack. Good dodge.
Thank you. This is intense. This one.
Oh, wow. All right, next round. Closing the gap. Oh, and she botches it.
Yeah.
Oh, she didn't botch, but she failed it. So there
I
it is.
failed it. There's the 1.
Yep. So she takes the 1, putting her out. All
Damn
right,
it.
so then we have
That was a good fight.
Yeah.
Strikes and
She'll
Isolate.
actually,
You guys
she'll
want
actually
to?
say that too.
You guys want to run just a 5? Strikes and Isolated.
That's up to you, Tim.
You're tired of Spluck, aren't you, John?
What's that?
You're tired of Spluck, aren't you?
I mean, it is 12:15, and I do have to get up at 5:30.
Yeah, no. 5.
It's 1:15 for me. I just want to say.
Otherwise, second idea, I propose
Higher
a
or lower?
proposition. So it's either 2 ideas I have, Tim. We could either do the 5, or I just say isolates the beta.
No.
I don't know if this
Kind of
was,
bullshit.
this
Kind
was
of
technically
Vegeta
a
bullshit.
formal alpha challenge either, though, because you gotta make sure your alpha meshes with your spirit, and you guys don't have a spirit yet.
This is getting to know each other better.
It's a good start. And depending on the
Right.
spirit, you might just be able to say, hey, look, this is where we already know we stand.
Yep, that is true.
But, I mean, depending on what spirit you guys end up, because one, you got to find one, and two, you have to convince it to sponsor your pack.
Yep. Who's doing attack first?
Well, I'd say probably Isolated had less hits on her last time, so
Okay.
probably would defer to her.
All right.
Okay.
Yeah, why couldn't that happen with me? Huh? Damn it.
So that looks like Tim won, if that's the case.
No, it's at 4. It's at 4.
Oh, it's at 4.
Yeah, because dude, you still got 1.
Okay.
Do some damage. Make it a good fight.
Ooh, excuse me.
Oh shit. Okay, you're doing it like that.
That's
We're doing willpower. All right.
That's 5 coming at you.
Hey, Tim, you know what they say? No guts, no glory.
Of course,
Real.
Strikes had 4 against her right out of the gate, so
Okay, that's. I got 1.
2, because she got a specialty there.
Oh,
Yep.
it's a spec. All right.
Next
Alright.
round, though, you got the advantage. You're throwing first.
I'm not gonna be that bitch. I'm not even gonna spend the willpower to win. Because that just seems cheesy.
My character's determined.
No, that's fair.
Oh no! Oh, I guess you're not alpha. Ouch! Ouch! This still has nothing to do with Battle of Wits. I just want to say first and foremost.
Oh, I know. This is why I'm glad I have a
Well.
specialty.
That'll,
It's still a tie.
holds the line. Yep.
Ooh, ooh, ooh.
Oh wait, I'm sorry. It was a tie.
Yep.
Oh, my bad.
Oh, I didn't know that. Okay.
Tied all around.
Okay.
All right. Because she threw on the attack. There's 3 and 3, so
This is gonna get interesting.
did we flip flop order somewhere?
No,
Okay.
you're good.
All right. So
Okay, so it's. Gotta do some quick math.
4 and 4. It looks like.
It looks like 4 and 2, unless we're stacking it. Unless it's carrying over from the last one.
No, because first round you scored 4, she scored 2, and then this round you didn't score any because there was a tie and she scored 2. Unless I lost a round somewhere.
So what's the
Sounds
score
like-
again?
4 and 4. It sounds like.
So it's tie right now?
Yeah.
I'm a bit confused on it, but okay.
So Tim, because she has a specialty so her 10 doubled on the last one.
Oh,
So-
okay. That makes sense now.
Okay.
That's why you were. So each round she actually had 1 more than you were thinking. That's why. So,
Yeah.
but it is your attack. But now it's
Yep.
kind of the sudden death roll.
Yep. Go, Tim.
Next hit wins.
Bring the heat.
I mean, we gonna see.
Oh.
Yeah,
Well,
there it is. That's it.
I can make so many Glasswalker jokes right now, but I'll be quiet.
She's gonna have to definitely get some willpower back. That's for sure.
I'm not gonna be able to. I'm not gonna be doing it for too much longer.
I was gonna say because I think you're at 4.
I'm at 2.
Right. I think you spent 4 total.
Well, I spent one against Air's round, and then it's like
1, 2, 3 down here.
Mhm.
So you
Yeah, I
spent
don't think
4.
Isolated can hold back at all anymore against. Yeah, nah. Veronica's bringing that smoke.
this is really serious, Tim. I mean, I'm not holding back. So, all right.
Well,
So
found the case,
round
I
flip,
should've- Yeah.
round flip, or
Yeah, that's what it looks like.
okay. Not to mention, I have nature competitor.
So that's your drawing 3 for attack.
Mm-hmm.
Tim, looking for your defense.
Tim's probably gonna be like, "Fuck you, Miss Shadow
Oh,
Lord."
there we
Oh,
go.
got it.
Dang.
Tim, back to you for attack.
How much will does Veronica have left?
So now it's flipped again.
Yep, back
Mhm.
to Tim's attack.
I'm not risking spending any more of it just because then I'll be burnt out, and that's worse.
Right?
Yeah, he literally
I can't believe-
collapsed.
Oh, you guys are using willpower in a meet and greet. Gosh, I guess you're pretty intense.
Yep, Tim's got it.
Yeah, there it was.
Literally, that was an exhausting match.
Yeah, and even if you would have spent one, you wouldn't have got it. So,
Yeah.
Right. So
You could tell Veronica's very exhausted.
Yep.
Like, she put everything through that. Just letting you know, Tim, Veronica did not hold back when sparring against you.
That's legit. Isolated, I'm not even gonna lie, Isolated seems really happy right now. And she's going to say, "This was so much fun. I look forward to running with all of you."
Look forward to running with you too.
you will get directed to a places on the sept where you guys can rest. I'm assuming that's what you guys are going to do.
Oh, yeah.
I'm also going to assume, being that's part of the revel, that you guys would spend the 1 gnosis towards the Karen.
Veronica's looking at herself as she became beta.
Wait, this was just a meet and greet. This wasn't for leader of the pack yet. I would have fought harder if that was the case.
Right?
I would have been spending willpower before more than you guys could ever imagine.
She's a Shadow Lord. She always takes it serious.
Yes.
Well, Shadow Lords are awesome. I mean, I can't deny that.
However, Veronica has a lot of respect for Isolated and Eerie.
So, all right. Other, make sure we spend the gnosis towards Karen.
Mhm.
And if there's anything else you guys want to do before you all go collapse.
John, I just want to remind you, I don't sleep very long. Just give you a heads up. Because of my my merit.
Yep.
So I won't be asleep too long.
There's feasting too.
Yeah.
A lot of the Guru go hunting during the revel too.
That's what she's going to be doing.
Yeah.
Isolated.
Actually, I don't know if Veronica will
Look,
be
I
after the
think-
match. She'll probably still be exhausted, but she'll want to partake in a hunt.
Well, and there would be game for you guys to feed on if you don't want to hunt.
I'm not going to hunt. I'm going to go just eat. You know? I'm saving my energy for the real fight. I say that out loud. I have no qualms about saying that.
There would go. We'll call it a workout.
All right. Well, then I will wrap this up.
Okay.
I do have, I will be dropping in for sure in Veronica's blue book because the Right Master said he was going to talk to her because he's a tribe mate.
Mm-hmm.
Anyone else who wants to talk to NPCs can do that in blue book. And I did start a pack chat. Right now it's out of character primarily for you guys to discuss totems, that sort of thing, without having to involve the whole chat.
Hey, John, I have one question before we wrap it up.
Sure.
Do you have any Ratkin NPCs made yet, just in case?
I have some in my notes. I don't have any that anyone has met.
Okay, well, because I have bee speak. I'm gonna be talking to rats and trying to get in touch with ratkins to discuss, to find out what's going on.
Yeah.
So I just want to let you know that's what I'm gonna do.
To ask around to find them, basically.
Yeah, that's what I plan to do. I'm gonna try to find them. I'm seeking them out. So
The Den Father is your mentor, and I did post him in the list.
okay, so I'll talk to him. He might know some. So
Well, the Warder is a bone gnawer too.
okay, so yeah, I'm gonna ask them first because we always have connections. I know that much.
Holly, my favorite bone gnawer, is coming back as the Den Father.
Out of game, Tim. Thank you for posting that gift. Tim knows the 2 characters I use for inspiration for Veronica.
Oh, I don't know if we set up the link, but I think we can call it here now.
Yeah.
I think we're just
All right. I will
Vegeta, okay, love
wrap
it.
this up. So thank you, players, for playing, watchers for watching. This has been the memorial moot for the Fallen, a werewolf scene for Nightfall in Amsterdam.